to you.
Yes. Oh, we're live.
Like, what's the countdown?
Oh, this.
One of those days.
Hello.
Oh my God. It's going to be
Hello,
one of
guys.
those shows, guys. It's going to be one of those shows.
It is. Is Mercury in Mercury in retrograde still, or was it changed because of the funny moons tonight?
Oh, God knows.
Going on.
It's all happening.
Hello. Welcome to the Simply Together show. Yes, we're very late. We're really late, and it could just be me. I'm not sure if it's Norma, but we're having technical issues, and we're trying to be here. Hello, we're here. We're here. It's gone a little bit grey. It was sunny earlier, but it was sunny yesterday. Thing is on its way.
Yeah.
Are you two here?
We're here. I'm just still.
It's good. How are you doing, Nico?
Do you know what? I'm very good, thank you. The weather was really nice and bright this morning. I was very happy. I took off my big polo neck. Well, that was a mistake because the sun was plastic. You know, it was out, it was bright, but it was still quite cold. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Oh dear.
Good. How are you doing, Shelley?
You've got a hoodie on.
Yeah, I'm not doing too great. TJ was okay-ish with his vet appointment, but last night, I broke my tooth. The tooth around where a filling is. So it's a very expensive month so far. I'm booked in to see the dentist tomorrow. So yeah, it's not, touch wood, it's not painful. It's just really achy at the minute. So yeah.
You're going to the dentist tomorrow?
On Friday.
I'm at the dentist tomorrow, so I called them last night. I could have got in first thing this morning, but it was the same time as TJ's vet's appointment. So I think
right. So that
well
again, I have no clue.
You are really having problems, Cecile. So I could have got in this morning just before I went to the vets, but it would have been, I wouldn't have been able to talk. I wouldn't have been able to do anything while taking him up to the vet. So yeah. So it's going to be a very expensive month. Well, last month and this month.
Yeah, we're only at the beginning. That's the problem as well, isn't it?
Yes. I think I might be bumping into my savings account.
Oh dear. What about you, Cecile? Apart from internet issues.
Okay. I'm okay. Looking forward to the nicer weather. It's nice when it's a bit brighter, you know.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week. It's been a really busy week, but it's not too bad. So I'm okay. This internet stuff gets on my nerves. Tech is not my thing. Whoever's out there watching us today, if I just disappear, then I'm going. I can't go. I can't keep going in and out because I'm missing half of what's being said. So, but other than that, I'm okay. I am good. We have a guest. She was here last week and the lovely tech stuff did its thing. So we're hoping that she's going to be here again today. So, is Norma there, waiting in the wings?
Yeah.
Is Shelley letting her in?
Yay.
Hello. Oh, I've sat here with my fingers crossed, hoping that this works.
Oh dear, blessings. So can you hear us
now?
now?
I can hear you now, yeah. Thank you very much. Sorry about before. I thought I'll try on my phone just to see if it's my laptop. And the only other thing I could do was thinking of taking my laptop and running to another room. And then I'd be coming on puffing and panting and very red. So I thought, well, just sit with it. If I go off, then I'll come on the comments. So, because I don't want to disrupt what you know. So, yeah. Moons, crystals, smudge sticks, everything going on here.
It's lovely to have you back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
What have you got there?
I've got my smudge stick.
A smudge stick?
Yeah. Get rid of all the negativity.
What's a smudge stick?
It's made of sage. Sage and things like that.
Oh!
So do you light it? Do you have to light it or you just wave it?
No, I light it and then it smokes and then, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, how interesting.
Obviously it's not working. It's supposed to keep negativity away, but, still
okay, so we're here. Okay.
Wow. So
is it? Are you really? Yeah, she really is having problems with herself. She's taking herself off the screen.
Oh.
I'm not quite sure what we end up doing. So we did. I go off to just start sharing the show, and I realise hang on a minute, she's gone. So, Norma, at what point?
I'm having a nightmare. So
I was going to say that while we've got a moment of lucidity, that maybe we should just start.
Yeah. How far did you actually get explaining what you were doing last week? Or do you want to start all over again, Norma?
Well, I was actually describing how naughty I was as a child because Cecile managed to get out of me some secrets from when I was a teenage.
Yeah. And they were very good secrets as well. We enjoyed them.
I know. So,
yes.
Yeah. And when I was very young, I always wanted to look after people. So all my dolls had an eye missing or an arm missing because I used to make my own dolls hospital. So.
Yeah.
We've gone again.
Yes. Yeah, I think she's going to stay off. Yeah, because with at home, my mum always used to be sort of like it would always like sew up my teddy bears and bits and pieces. But you got them actually in like little hospital beds and stuff.
Yeah, I remember getting one doll and it was called Tippy Turvy. Her name was, and it was like a remote, not like remotes like today. It actually had a string to the doll, and when you pressed it like tumble over or walk. And as soon as I got it, I just pulled the cord off it, so she couldn't do it. So I had to repair her and help her, and because I always wanted to just look after things. So I did get like for that, but it was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. Yeah.
So right from school time, was you wanting to then actually help people?
I've always believed it. Yeah, I think it's my sole purpose to care for people. I've always been like that. I've always, like you look for anyone getting bullied or anybody unfortunate. I always want to help and sort out everything. I've always been a fixer, which isn't really good for yourself, is it? People pleasing and fixing. So as I got older and a bit more sensible, I've now come across I think of myself as like a lighthouse. So when I can see things and people are not right, then instead of going and fixing them, I just shine so they can come to me and I can help them then. Because while you're looking after one, you can't look after the others, can you? So I've tried to be more stable type of thing. And, so it was a nightmare for my children growing up when they were growing up, because they literally, everything they tried to do, it's like I just took it off them and did it for them. And then I thought, I really need to let these guys be independent. And luckily, I realised before I totally ruined them, So, so they're just a bit ruined. Because we think we're loving and caring and supporting, don't we? But we don't realise it's taking away sometimes independence and growth from your own children, That's what I was like, But never mind. My grandchildren have a harder time because I'm like, well, you can sort this out, come on.
Oh, dear.
Definitely.
Oh, interesting.
So when you left school, so like your first lot of career, was that actually like you going towards like a nursing or a
Well, because I
caring?
didn't behave when I was at school and I missed some of the subjects, when I left, I needed the qualifications to get into nursing. And I always wanted to be a nurse. My mum and dad wouldn't let me go into the Queen Alexandra nursing, Navy nursing. They said they just wouldn't let me go. But I think that was the age that I was at when I was 16. They, not long been out of a war, sort of thing, 10 years earlier. And so that was a no, I couldn't go. So I went to work for the civil service and they sent me on business course. So when I got to sign up for the business course, I actually detoured and went and did history and biology and sociology instead. So I was a bit naughty then as well. But then I got the qualifications and I said goodbye to the civil service, who told me you'll never make a nurse. And 38 years later, I left healthcare. So I did make a nurse and I did make a leader and a manager and a quality team. So and now I'm self-employed doing what I do now, which is looking after other people that look after people. So so I'd love to meet that person again and say, I think you might have been a bit wrong there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, but it gave me that motivation of thinking, I'll show you, one of them. So that's how I ended up in nursing, really. So, yeah.
I think, for being in a caring position, whether it be a career or whether it's something that you're naturally like, I think you've always got to have like, there's either a thing that's happened, which is then your reason, or there's something that it's almost made you stubborn, as if to say, well, I'll show you. I was watching Sunday Brunch and it had Dame Maggie, the scientist woman, and she's got her memoirs out, and I knew she had ADHD, but she also had dyslexia. And because all the schools that she ended up in, because she ended up in quite a few different ones, she was always put to like the lowest, the back of the room, the lowest set, if you like, in school, because you won't amount to anything, kind of thing. And it then gave her like a change of like looking at things, as if to say, yeah, I'm going to show you, I'm really interested in this. And she found a way to actually learn. And she calls herself a visual teacher, because children are not, she knows that the children are not, if you have got something like dyslexia, you're not going to learn that way. And that was how she taught herself. And I just think it's just amazing how, you've got, you have a reason, there's something that goes on, and it's like, yeah, I'll show you, kind of thing.
Yeah. You're doing it. Sometimes I think things that happen to us really happen for us, and it shapes the way we do go forward. For me, I've always thought it was it's God's gift to me is to care for others. He does challenge me in the ways that he gives me that to do, which sometimes is a bit, I call it a curse and a blessing, but it does work out. And obviously, I believe that there's a bigger picture, and whatever path I've got to go down to get to the end result for that picture is the path I have to go down. And that the faith in that sort of thing for me keeps me rooted in what I'm doing, even though sometimes, like today, I've been to a networking thing this morning and I had a chance to say something about it and I just couldn't get the words out properly. And I don't know if it was because I didn't really think I was going to say it. No one was going to ask me in my mind, I wasn't ready for it. So that was a little challenge to come home and be prepared. It's like a lesson in you were asked and you couldn't deliver. And then I started beating myself up. So about 20 minutes ago, I was like stamping around the garden, talking to the flowers. Because I just thought, you've just got to find your own way of dealing with things, haven't you? And after the course we've been on with Louise, I thought, right, come on, you're not going to react, you're going to respond. Just deal with yourself. And I really had a good look. So I was very grateful for that 18 weeks that we did, because it does make me think a different way. And the other thing, it's a bit of a mix, this really, and I'm rambling, I know now, but the other thing is, because it's full supermoon tonight, and I manifest on the supermoon. I take my little crystals out and they stay out all night. I write down what I want to release. I write down what I want to bring in. I burn them separately. The smoke is always different. The releasing is always darker than the bringing in, which always amazes me. And that'll be what I'm doing tonight. And it's Tuesday, and this is when we used to do the thing. So today when I was thinking about it, I thought, right, what do I want to release? And I thought, you know what? I don't want to release anything. There's nothing. I've worked through so much in the last 18 weeks, with the group I was in and the structure of it, that I feel like I've got no little cobwebs inside me, sort of thing, that I need to dust out and say, I want to release fear, or I want to release anxiety, or something like that. Because I've been looking at it a different way. And even that, because that was like a gentle approach and a group approach, and even that is something that's made me like push my boundaries. Like being in a bubble, isn't it? And pushing your boundaries one way or another. Whereas when I was younger, I'd be pushing back as I'll show you. Now I'm like, actually, I don't need to show anybody anything, and I don't need all these things that I need to dust out. So today I'll just be bringing in and not releasing, which sounds a bit strange to me.
Wow. So, Norma, how does that work in, like that attitude of the shifts that you talk about? Has that actually shown up in your work that you do as well?
Yeah, what it's made me do, EK, in work terms, is focus on the one thing, just on one thing, because I was doing training things and Reiki and card readings and this and this and this and this, and I was all of everything and a bit of nothing in a way. So it's made me just it's like partway through the 18 weeks, I was like, right, pick one thing and go with it from January. So I spent the whole Sunday, because I'm not very good with technology and stuff, and like the banners and things on like LinkedIn and such things. And I spent the whole Sunday making sure that everything was aligned, everything was coloured properly. I changed everything to the Work Well Mirror method, and I've just started trading as that. And I thought, I'm just doing the one thing. And if the other stuff comes after that core product, then it comes. But I'm not going to try and fit it in around everything else and be a bit wishy-washy. So work terms, it's really firmed up what I do and what I'm going to do, because I'm looking at doing it, not just delivering the course to people who want it and put my own event if I need to, but actually going forward, having approved centres, so that basically they register and have a license to be an approved centre, and I'll work with one person and train the trainer, so that then they can ensure that the well-being is seen to through their company. Save just going on a training day and coming back and, oh, that was great, remember that, and 2 months later it's gone. To have somebody comfortable in that company. So today, this afternoon, I've actually got a meeting at 2:00, and that's when I'm going to firm that up and see what an approved centre looks like and what the licence can be. I don't want it to be, though, if you've ever worked in a corporate company, or some companies, but definitely corporate, where everything has to be done by close of play, and a new thing comes out, and because all the higher upper people have bonuses if they reach this target and that target, and everything has to be done. I mean, I've worked in a company where the MD would literally say, right, there's this out, we've got to have everybody through it, and I want everybody through it in my region by the end of the month. That's no value to that. It's a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, we've gone. Oh, we're back. Thought we're going to go. It's a knee-jerk reaction to something that needs embedding properly, because we're talking about people's resilience, safety, well-being, the person, not just the product. So anybody that thinks that they can tick the boxes, and we've got that, and we've got an approved centre, and we're looking after our staff, tick the boxes, shut up, go away, they won't be an approved centre, because it's for people who really see it, the value of looking after their employees and themselves, obviously. So because so it's made me have that confidence to say that that's happening like that.
Because it's not actually like a project, it's not like an app that you're trying to teach people. It's not like a product as such that they're learning to use. It is actually with people. It's people's skills and it's all that kind of thing. And to just say, oh yeah, we can do that because that's easy. And as you say, just kind of like, everyone needs to do it. Yeah, thank you very much. We've now had the training, tick that box. That's not the greatest way of.
It took a long time. It took a long time to develop into what it is, and it took a lot of like lived experience and a lot of new knowledge, a lot of training that I've done, paid a lot of money into my own coaching and NLP masters and stuff like that. And I didn't really realise that that's what I was developing. I was just aiming at care home managers and leadership teams. But then, as I was doing events, people were asking, like I had veterinary practices asking, can they send the managers on it because they're stressed? And they said, don't worry. And then I thought, anybody regulated, really, because they've got the legal responsibility as well. But really, it would go to anybody, to be honest. And it is like an integrated work and wellbeing development system, not just a tick box course. It's somewhere that once they've worked through it, they can start it again and keep growing and developing if they want to. Some people don't want to, but if they want to. So, you know, it's like rinse and repeat once they've done it and embedded it. Yeah. Because I think we're getting lost as people. I do think that humans are being lost.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
100%.
yeah. Yeah, we're just fading into whatever we're merging with. I don't know. But, you know, I just think we need to bring back that thing for humanity, really, and to care. We're human beings, not human doings. That was off the Dalai Lama, and I believe it. I think, you know, we really need to put that in, because if this is now, what does 10 years look like? What does 20 years from now look like? You know?
Yeah. It's similar to what I learned a lot with the Olive Foundation, and I volunteer with them when they do events and stuff. So I'm always going on their courses, and I might have been on one before, but I'll go on it again. And it's just enough that as a person, as people, as you say, beings, that is, you should be learning more. You should be going through life and learning. And to get some of these jobs, you just kind of, right, okay, I'm in it and I'm jobbed and I'm pigeonholed and that's it. If you're not using it, you're losing it.
Definitely.
As my mum would say. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're always doing puzzles, you're doing things like that with your brain. As you get older and you're actually doing things, you are actually living then and not just existing.
Yeah. See, when you say people get pigeonholed, when I was running a care home once, I had a lady said to me one day, she worked in the kitchen doing the dishes. She was washing up as a kitchen assistant, and she went to go through a door, and I said, "Oh, after you." And she said, "No, after you. You're the manager." And I went, "Well, after you." You know what I mean? And so what? And she said, "I'm just the kitchen assistant." And I was like, "Just come in a minute. You're not saying just where I am, love. If you didn't come in," I said, "them dishes don't get done. That kitchen doesn't turn around. The next meal doesn't go out on time. We're risking infection control and all sorts. You know what I mean? There could be an outbreak of diarrhea and vomiting because you didn't come to work." I said, "If I didn't come to work, somebody might think I'm just on training or I've got a day off. They don't even notice I'm missing till after 12 o'clock when they've done all the jobs." I said, "So don't say just where I am." And they were like, "Oh, okay." And I do pull people up on that on a regular basis. You know, if they just, I go, "Don't just," because it matters. But that's how they feel. They just, doing the dishes thinking this is it. Well, there's still more to that. You're still a person and you're a very valuable person. You've got a family at home. Don't give it up for your life at work. Because when that work stops, what do we have? A husk of a person that did everything to a job role that's fake or not real, really, that did get you the income to pay for what you wanted. But where's the value to your actual human life, to that sense that we are, that being? Yeah. So you got me soapbox there, Shelley, can't get off.
Well, Richard Branson said as much in his book, like way back, was it in 1990s? I think when he did his book.
Sorry, can you say that again, Shell?
Richard Branson. So when he was setting up like his Virgin Empire, if you like, as part of that, he wrote a book. And he was just saying about it was like his memoirs, basically, but it was also a bit business related as well. And he actually then said that you look after everyone in your company, and all of those people will then look after your customers. So if you're looking after the people that work for you, from the very top right down to the very bottom, that anyone that's then coming into your business as a customer or just seeing it, that what they're actually then going to get, rather than you trying to get customers and you throwing them to someone lower that's not interested in what they're actually doing. He was very much of that exactly the same kind of philosophy, like okay, I'm the one that's signing the checks, but you're the one that's doing the work. We're all the same, like all the same cog.
Well, everyone has a place in everything, don't they? Whether it's work, home life, any team that you're in. If you've got a football team and no goalie, well, what's the point? You're on hiding to nothing, really. So it's a bit strange, isn't it?
Okay.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was just going to ask you a question. Based on what you said earlier, where you're, getting people to, where you're training the trainer to train people to look after themselves. Have you, like in the course of where you've been working, companies had to, as a result of this, had change processes or anything? Because sometimes processes and things that don't work can be quite stressful.
Yeah, this is only launched this year, so I've not actually run it for the company yet. The approved centres, yeah, the approved centres are just coming up now. And when I speak to this chap this afternoon, then quite probably there will be TikTok and LinkedIn and everywhere with it on. Hopefully, if it goes well, because I want to know a bit more about the responsibilities of it, really, because you know. Yeah, I just don't want it to fizzle out into a tick box. That's what I don't want, because I've got a lot of other. This is like a core thing. It takes a day really at the moment to do. Train the trainer would be 2 days, because I want them to interact and show me how they, what they really feel and make sure that they are right. But because it'll bring things up for people that are going to train it as well, and how they're going to respond to others when they come to them with a problem and they've got a problem already. You're getting into a mix of different things then, aren't we? So there's a lot more to it than I thought at the beginning, which I'm grateful for, because it makes it matter more, doesn't it? It makes it's more things to it. So I'm going to see how that goes this afternoon. But hopefully, I mean, I'd love a company that's really forward thinking and thinks, our well-being of the staff matters more than anything, to just have a chat with me and get to know more about it and see if it would work for them. I mean, it might not, it might just be nothing. It might be pipe dream or whatever they call it. But to me, I feel very certain about it, and I feel like that everything I've been through to this point was for this point. So I don't know. That's out of my hands. That's in the lap of the gods. So I just have to go.
You're being the person that you would want around. That when you was in that position, you're being that, like, you needed the help then with something, or a bit of just a listening ear sometimes of someone that's been through it before.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen managers, Shelley. I've seen care home managers. One of them, she's still my friend. She's in my Facebook group for managers and everything. And she literally, and she don't mind me telling people this, she has given me permission to speak. I'm not calling her or anything, but she literally walked into my office one day and went, hi to the admin, shut the door, got on a chair, put a coat over her head and sat crying. And I said, you need to take the coat off your head. And she said, I can't cope anymore. I've had enough. And I was like, oh, because I knew what was going on in the company and the homes and stuff. And it's too much. The job's massive. And, one of the events I run, the young guy said, I've been thinking about giving up my management role. And I said, well, we can talk about that if you want, see if there's ways we can help you. Or it might just not be for you. It might just be that you do want to have a life and not just the work. Anyway, he said, no, it's that bad. He said, I come out of work yesterday and I just wanted to drive into the wall opposite. And I was like, that's no way to be when you've got a house full of old, vulnerable people or young children or something. That they need them to be, resilient. Coming in now. So, it's really hard, isn't it, for people to cope with everything, and life is getting hard. So, I
mean, because you've got.
Is it me?
It's kind of come back now. Because it's a very different role to actually being a manager of staff. Say you're in a shop or you're in a call center, to managing staff that are then looking after someone. So whether you are in like your headmaster in a school, because it then makes what the queries would be like actually human. So it's managing like two separate things to do with humans. That is very The
thing is I've never worked in a call center, so I don't know that environment really. But if you've got somebody on a call speaking to somebody. Yeah, you know what I mean? But if you've gone in and say, like, somebody's working in a call centre, they've got a lot of debt, they're having a divorce, they feel really ill, or they've got something else going on, and they're speaking to somebody on the phone as part of their job, perhaps asking them about the money or the bills or whatever, or how can they pay this month. That's that's how a person has got that, and then they're listening to it as well. And it's amplifying their own things. So to me, to be on the phone, you can't even see the person to interact with them. To be on that phone, to me, that's just pure pressure for me. And I've been through pressure, but that to me would be like, oh no, I can't even think about doing that job. I would literally just think I'd blow up. But that to me would be absolutely massively intense power to stress to have to deal with that, and then not be able to help somebody and say, listen, don't worry about it this month, love, we'll deal with it another day. I've been in situations in my life when I've had absolutely nothing, And I actually spoke to a guy once, and it was over finance. And I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know I'm going to pay it. And he said, do you know what? He said, I'm actually going to kick this down the road for you. He said, go off the phone and phone us back in 3 months. He said, the best of luck, love. And 3 months later, my picture was different. But he literally, and I said to him, I said, why would you do that? And he said, well, my mum was in a situation like you're in. And if I could have helped her, I couldn't. I was too young. He said, and I just want to pay it back somewhere. And it still gets me a bit, you know what I mean? It still touches me. That was many years ago. I was a single parent on my own, and just to have somebody be real, you know, and that was on the phone call. But that's made me realise, like, you know, what's he going through and what's he been through? Yeah. And now he's supporting me because he can really see it. But when you've got these things, especially when, like, you know, debt recovery or like some call centres, they might not have that ability to go off script. They might, I don't know if they have a script that they have to, you know, you phone up.
It depends. It depends on the what the call centre is, whether they're selling or dealing with queries and in relations to accounts and things like that. But yeah, it can be quite difficult. I worked at a call centre, and it wasn't so much that it was scripted, but everything was it. You know, everything had an answer. If this happened, it had to be done A, B, and C this way. If that happened, you have to get this. And like you said, sometimes if they had difficulties, then you had to put them there. It's a bit like you said, like being a lighthouse in that sense, where you're directing them, and even though you want to help them, you can't. Yeah, so in a way, it was a script, but it wasn't.
Yeah. But if it's a script, I get it, but a script with a bit of human round it for leeway.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
I'd last 2 days if that. I wouldn't last long at all, would I?
Well, you probably get in trouble for being on the phone too long.
I was exactly the same. That it be, all the scores that I had at a call centre, the calls for how they were resolved were great, but for the time that I took to finish off those calls, it would be because I'd be chatting, I'd be like telling them exactly what was going on all the time. And even sort of like, because it was one of my jobs was with a cable company, so we had to be open Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day kind of thing. And the ones that were calling through on Christmas Day, sometimes it was because it was old dears that just didn't have anyone to talk to. Oh, I might as well just phone up now while I've got someone there.
Yeah.
You just had it was such a I say a nice job. I think. Because this is back to the day with the NTL, so it was, it kind of come across as an American company, and they were all very much looking after their staff. So on the Fridays, you could dress down a bit, and the team leaders were given some stuff, so we could sit there with crisps and stuff on our lunch break. So it was good like that. And then you had like the channel, like Disney Channel. We used to love anyone from the Disney Channel coming into us because we'd end up with like quizzes and things. And I've still got back when the UK TV channels came on, a remote control car, because they had Miami Vice was one of their programs. So I've got a remote control Miami Vice car because I won the competition that day. So you got all these kind of things, but it's going back to the same thing of like looking after your staff, because it is a rough time that you're going to have working with us when they know that. But they were looking after the staff, and then you could actually like ask them to do stupid things sometimes. But yeah, Norma, have you got anything? I heard you saying that you do events and stuff. I remember from last time that we were speaking, you was trying to get some bits and pieces on your TikTok, like little video clips and stuff.
Yeah, I've got quite good on TikTok, even if I do say something. I'm not very good with it. I'm not very good with it at all. But I've been doing a few bits more on TikTok because for some reason, I think it's just like human nature. That's what I'm blaming it on. I started going into just putting a text on and a few words and a bit of music on it. So it was, and I thought, you know what? I get so much more interaction when I do one of my daft videos. I mean, all my things are behind me. My last ones, I don't know if you've seen last week's with the scales, the work and well-being scales, and how it lands on one side more than the other. And that took me ages, I stand there with my little clicker and keep saying it until I do something that I think's presentable. And I still sound a bit rough on that because I did have a sore throat. But they're the only things around me that I use, and they just make something out of nothing. Do you know what I mean? They just make something out of nothing. But and they get more interaction from them. So I thought, why are you doing that? Why are you shying away from it? And there is one thing I was thinking of doing on TikTok. If I can work out these lives, I think you just press live and then it's live. But I don't know what people can see. I will let them in the room. What do I do on it? I don't know. So I'm going to learn that. And I'd like to do like an open office, like 7 till 8 in the morning, like a couple of days a week, where I just put it live. And then I sort myself out and do my stuff and talk to people that, managers or whatever.
I say people do that. People do things like that.
Yeah, there's a great guy on there who lives in like a big mobile home thing, and he cleans it all the time. And he's talking while he's cleaning, and he's great fun to watch. You know what I mean? But I have to avoid him because I do tend to, use an hour then. But he's great, and he's chatting away, and he's quite popular. He's really good, and he's just saying like, I'm just going to clean this, and isn't this bad? And the sun's out, and 3 flowers in the garden and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, because we all like what everyone else is doing, don't we? When it's when tonight, when the Christmas trees are up and all that, and you drive along, I like looking in the windows and stuff. Not that I'm weird. I just think, how cozy is that? So. Yeah.
So why are you doing that on TikTok? Are you doing like events and stuff that doing the similar kind of thing, or are you just doing like you just concentrating like on the training, the trainer kind of training now?
Well, what I want to do, if I can, I'd love to be able to go to a company and run the course, as in run it for the leadership team, so they're all part of it. But then later on, I do that. I have thought about putting another event on to actually just run this once on my own, but I shouldn't really say this really out loud, but because I live in a little town, people are a bit shy of it. And last time I put an event on a lovely little Norton Priory in Runcorn with a walled garden, and it was beautiful. And they came along and they let you use they can go around the museum as well while they're there for no cost. It was really kind of them. And I had no one from where I live. They all came from all around the country. I only had 9, but they'd come like from the northeast and Scotland and down south. And I was like, I think I need perhaps to, look at different out of town sort of thing. But it's a lot to sort out, isn't it? And a lot to do if, and I don't mind, I'd do it. But I thought if companies wanted somebody to go in, like they got first aid trainers going in, or, whatever trainers going in, I could just do something for that for the ones that want the well-being thing.
Because I've done hybrid training before, so you've got like a little thing like you've got like that, and then someone's just switched on the live. So I've signed up. It goes out via Zoom, and I paid whatever I paid. But I'm then sort of like at home watching. So yes, you could very well do like a hybrid. The hybrid thing again.
I've got one on the 29th of March, which is my old programme that's CPD accredited, the Awareness, Belief and Confidence for Managers. That's on Zoom or Teams or something it'll be on, because a lady on TikTok asked me when you run your next event, and I thought I can't really do one in person at the minute, and I didn't want to advertise it too much. I only want 6 people on it really, just so they can have a chat. I'll stay on it as long as they want me to. I put it down for 3 hours, but I will stay as long as they want me to. But I don't want to advertise it because I don't want it to mix in with this other one. Do you know what I mean? It looks like what you're doing then, and I don't want it to become confusing. So, but I thought, well, if no one else comes for that, because that's literally trying to find people without letting them know it's there, which is not going to happen, is it? But I thought if they don't come for it, I can send her the digital version anyway and just say that's the online course if you want to do it, and then can have a chat with me after if you like, and send her the booklet and she can work through it. It's just that I just feel like if somebody's asking for something and I can do it, then why not? I mean, it's a Sunday, and I thought I can do it in the morning. It'd be fine. So I just want to help everyone. I wish I could in London. I could just go, you're okay, and you're okay. But that's not good, is it?
Well, I have put it down in the ticket, and it is in the comments as well that you've got the last little bit. You've got your TikTok handle on there as well. So I hope that people end up coming to follow you.
Norma,
you
know what you were saying, because you've got the 2 different things and you don't want to merge and confuse them. Have you thought? I don't know if it would work. I'm not a marketing person or anything like that, but maybe you could promote. You could open up either another TikTok account and have them separately, or Instagram.
Yeah.
Because you can't have more than one TikTok account.
Yeah. Well, what I've done is, I mean, my other course, Awareness, Belief and Confidence, actually leads into this course. It's part of this now, because I did that and I did Lead and Thrive, and I did another one. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, the Pause. I did Your Time, which is the Awareness and Belief one. That's called Your Time. The other one was the Pause, which is more woo-woo stuff. So there's the work and then the well-being and woo-woo stuff. And then I got feedback off each bit, and then I put this from all of that. So all that has basically come into this, through a funnel into this. So this is why I put it on my website now, but then I'm going to start working towards this, and I'll come away from that then. And this will be my main thing that a trade does and do, to be honest. If anybody wants to look after people, I will go and help them.
It sounds really interesting and necessary. It kind of reminds me of, I think the two could go hand in hand together, actually. Shelley, you know the people that come to V's event, that go in and train the well-being for the people going through the menopause in the companies?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because we've got fibroids, hysterectomy and beyond.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that that V does, which we've got one coming up. We've got one coming up soon, but she has different people coming in and does the talks and bits. So you kind of get a gynecologist there, and you get someone that does nutrition and stuff there. So as you're saying, Nico, you could actually have yourself as a speaker along with others.
Yeah, I was actually looking at it as like the service, a collaboration. Don't mind me, in the sense that they're both very necessary services, but there are things obviously that you need to make the effort to convince employers why it would be good for them to implement it. Because it just occurred to me, because especially like now, like you said, where life is quite difficult at the moment, and people can be stressed in work, stressed doing work, stressed at home, and employers have the ability to implement those things.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could just see it as
one of these events, she was then saying they were then saying was it the Kaleidoscope ladies that do the menopause group, and she was then saying, because there is the changes now in workplaces that you have to have allowances and connections with people for the ladies that are coming through with sort of like your perimenopause or menopause kind of thing. And there's certain things that they have to kind of allow, which is very similar to like your mental health first aiders. Every big company is meant to have someone that has had training in the mental health first aid, which is something that I think quite a lot of people don't actually then realise, especially when they're in a big company, what you can go in and ask for. If you need help with where you're sitting in work or anything, they don't realise that those allowances are supposed to be there. So I've got the dog on my lap and he's trying
I think as well, one of the things I find is that, I mean, companies have occupational health, they have the human resources, they have the employees assistance line, all are fabulous and they all have a place. But as a manager, they see them as, if I go to HR and say I'm stressed or with menopause or whatever else is going on, bit of depression or not sleeping, what impact will it have on my job role? They don't trust it as much. And it's all reactive. It's where occupational health is where you go after the event. You know, when you've had this done and that done, when you've been stressed and you're coming back from depression. One of the things I did with coaching was return to work after long-term absence, where I give them 6 weeks of introducing them, like, you know, because I was an outsider. I could say to them, well, where did it start going wrong and what can we do about that? And how can you see it next time? And you know, use all my other skills, and it was confidential, so I didn't go back to the employer, and I never would unless they were going to harm themselves or others. Then it's confidential, and if it's going to harm themselves or others, then I'm going to get help. So that was that. But then they need to be, in my opinion, proactive, not reactive. And these services can be proactive and prevent that. You know, I mean, even recruitment agencies, I chat to a couple of recruitment guys and they're brilliant and they're great at what they do. And I said, I want to put you out of business because I'm going to make sure that retention in the workplace rises that much you're not needed. They're like, don't do that. But I'd never do that, obviously, because jobs change, don't they? But, it's a bit of a giggle between us because I was like, this is going to happen. And I do want to look after people in whatever way I can. And to be honest, when, I'm getting on a bit now, so once something happens to me, then, and I'm not on this side anymore, then I would like it to still be there to still help people after the event, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why I do a lot of talking, really. I've got 3 grandchildren. They've got to get in their hands somewhere, haven't they? They got on every podcast I've ever been on and know exactly what their nan would tell them. So, yeah. So it's still like a thing on my mind. I don't think small, really, do I, ladies? You know what I mean? I'm like, I want all of it. But I don't want it for me. I want it for them.
It is, Yes, exactly. It's exactly that. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like my mum.
Operational excellence and personal well-being. How about that? Bring it on. So I'd be really happy to work with anyone on anything and go anywhere to do anything. I'm free as a bird and can travel where I like. I'm location free because I work on a laptop most of the time. And my days are my own. I've got no ties, really, to be honest. I've got a partner who wants his tea now and again, but we have a freezer and a microwave, so I'm sure he'd cope. And he does back me up, so we're on a winner, aren't we?
Yeah. A big notice up somewhere. You're sorting yourself out tonight, love.
Teas in the microwave. Which is great to go. I'll look after people, I think.
Well, we've got all of your details there. So you've got your website, LinkedIn, and the TikTok. So obviously you got to be watching. You got to be watching the videos. Oh no, you're just smiling now, Nico. So I thought you'd gone. I thought you'd gone.
No, not at all. I was just listening there, and I was just thinking, reflecting on some of the things that Norma has said about in particular about the care in the workplace and finding those people that care enough.
As you can tell, Nike's not. Well, we have conversations about Nike's work.
It's not so bad now, to be fair. It has actually improved. In fact, if anything, it has validated all the negative things that I had to say before, which is the sense that it's the people, it's not 100% the company. But yeah, it's interesting. I actually like the sound of what Norma's putting out together there. I think it's important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like anything to do with well-being. I mean, I was just looking down the list of what I've got down here that we was just saying about events and stuff, because I put them out on our Facebook page as well. The events that either we're doing, or we're part of, or we're just helping promote. That it is all to do with your own personal, like mental health kind of things. Because we've got, as usual, our International Women's Day, but we're doing it as the soiree like we did last year. So we've still got a few tickets for that. We've got an afternoon tea with a difference. So yes, you will have a bit of spice and stuff in with that afternoon tea. We already said about V's event, so the Fibroids, Hysterectomy and Beyond. I mean, V started that up because that was her own story, her own health story. Realised that there wasn't that much help around. I decided to do her own event, so whether it be online or whether it's in person. I believe this is the last in-person one.
Really?
I think so. I don't know whether she's still going to just do them online or whether she's given up on it. I don't know, because they are really good. Nika, we had a gynecologist on one of our in-person ones, and she was giving out little sachets of lubrication, and she threw them around, and Nika got very excited.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you for putting that out there in the worldwide. Were you not listening to the show last week? That's how not bearing false witness.
I don't think any of us knew what it was that she was throwing out to start off with. It was like, oh, it's freebies. It's freebies. What is it? And then Dee's doing her TEDx talk about second chances. So that's at Luton Library Theatre. And then we've got our own kind of bits and pieces coming up as well. But that's what's coming up sort of just like in the near future. And it is all to do with just like your own, like, your own mental health. It's strange that you actually do need that. And I think, but yeah, see, look, it wasn't just me. Cecile was Cecile saying the lube. But that girl in college, she's very funny. She was very, very open and forthright with what she was saying, because she was then saying sort of like if anyone has problems with their like doing their pelvic floor exercises, like to do it during the time that you're with your man. It's like it would then help.
Yeah.
She's very good at what she does, and she's but yeah, again, that is just the ladies all then getting together and discussing things like that, which you don't necessarily then have. Cecile's just laughing her head off now. And you need that. You need that person that you need to have someone be that person that you needed way back during the time. So when you're going into like offices and things like that, and not knowing what you can and can't have, having someone that's gone through something that's to again give you a guiding light to help you get through it. Because I think we've kind of lost that in sort of in communities now. You don't necessarily, you're not as a kid listening to your
sometimes
elders.
As well, Shelley, though, I think it's it's the old community, isn't it, where you know, like I said, the neighbours. I was brought up calling my neighbours Mr. and Mrs. and we had aunties and uncles, and now it's just names, and we know that type of thing. But sometimes as well, it's stopping long enough.
Oh, the internet's going funny.
Still long enough to have the awareness of where am I now and what do I need, and some sorry, what happened on then?
I think it's starting to drop out again. I went funny then as well, but I don't know what's going. It's definitely the full moons. I'm telling you, it's the full
gremlins. The full moon has woken up the gremlins, and
we're a red moon tonight as well, isn't it?
Sorry,
it's a red moon.
Well, I was saying, can't be full. Surely we had a new moon just before Ash Wednesday. It must be half.
Yeah, blood red room. So it's one of the eclipses, but I'm not quite. I was just trying to look to see whether there was a timing for us.
Right.
I don't know what time it is tonight, but yes, we get that tonight. So yeah, it's definitely all to do with that. There's quite a lot of different new agey kind of things that I do look at, but yeah, the moon is always one of them. Right, I think we better go before
up there with my moons on before we go off again. I'm sorry to Cecile for I don't know. I don't know. I hope it's not me. I hope I'm not messed it up. But very grateful.
It's individual people's internet. That's all it is. Sometimes it just drops out.
Mine goes like that if I've got other things open. So I've shut everything down while I was on.
Yeah.
If I've got a few other bits open, it does drain it somehow. I don't know why. I don't understand. But never mind. It's like people, isn't it? We get drained and then we come back to life, don't we?
Yes. Everyone needs to have a reboot personally. or switch off, or
switch off, switch back on again. Just turn yourself off and on again. Well, thanks very much,
no half
ladies.
recharges, you have to do a full recharge.
But to Louise for that, go straight back to Louise.
We shall hopefully be in the same place here next week.
I will be in the comments next week. I will not be on here, but I will definitely be in the comments.
We'll start sharing some of your videos as well.
Thank you very much anyway. And thanks to see you.